Okay, thank you, Kim. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me along to this. I think it's great to be part of it, and it's important that men talk. That's the main thing. A lot of times, men don't talk enough, and I think we need to be able to open up a bit more. And as I've chatted with Kim before, sometimes it's not that easy to chat as men, but it's important that we try and open up and get what's off our chest and don't think that you're weak because you're doing it. It's important that we come together and just share things, how we're feeling. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to give a rundown of my journey of faith over my life, but I'll go into different areas where what's happened to me. So first of all, I always tell this to people that that don't really know me that well or don't know me at all. I am actually a twin. I've got an identical twin brother, and his name is Clive. So first thing I want you to do, if you see someone that looks exactly like me, because he hasn't got a beard. I'm slightly got a bit more timber, carrying a bit more timber than him. But his name's Clive. He's actually a police officer. So if you see him, and he does work in Birmingham, he's based at Lloyd's House. So if you do see someone that looks like me, say, "Hi, Clive," or "Hi, Jonathan," and he'll probably give you a funny look and go, "Who is this? Do I know this person?" Well, we might just, what we tend to do, we sometimes, if we don't know, we'll wave and go, "Oh, yeah," we'll just go, "Hi." And then later on, I might speak to him and say, "Oh, do you know someone who looks like this?" So, "Oh, yeah, that's Steve," or whatever. But just say, "Hi, Clive," or "Hi, Jonathan." And then if it's me, I'll say, "Oh, I know you from what's the name." But if it's not, he'll just go, like that, but carry on. Okay, so that's Clive. He's my twin brother. I'm one of seven. I've got Clive, my brother. I've got another brother, Andrew, and three sisters. And I did have another brother, but he died when he was very young, before I was born. I'm from a mixed race family. My dad is Jamaican, and my mum was English, white. However, I do look Asian. People talk to me in Punjabi at supermarkets and stuff, and and I go, "Oh, sorry, I can't understand." But yeah, no. So I'm Jamaican and English. It's called dual heritage or mixed or whatever. So that's my background. I started going to church. Well, we've always gone to church from a very young age. We used to go to a church in Smethwick, Hume Street Gospel Hall, which was quite a large church at the time, quite vibrant. Sunday school. I remember as a child there was loads of kids there, and it was great. We really had a nice time going there as a family. We used to go to church in the afternoons, like they used to do it off. We used to have dad and mum would go in the mornings to communion. We'd go in the afternoon at 4:30, and then there used to be a gospel service at 6:30. Obviously, that's changed now, but so that's what we used to do as children. And my first, experience, and when I first made a commitment to God was we went to Villa Park. There was a Billy Graham. It was in 1984, and I was 9. So I'm showing my age. So I was 9, and I went down the front and became a Christian on that day. It was the night that Cliff Richard was there, and it was a great night. I'm a West Brom fan, but we went to Villa Park and went on the pitch and stuff, and it was good. It was one of those things, and I believe that my journey of faith, God has been with me from that young age of 9. When I said to God, I believe in Jesus and I want to follow Him, and He's been with me, and that's always been throughout my life. So that was when I was 9. Teenage years, as Kim said before. When I was about 12, when I was about 9 or 10, I started to go to Boys Brigade, and that was at a church not far from me now, Worley Baptist. And Boys Brigade there was a big part of my life for a long time. We used to do what boys like to do, camping and football and stuff, and it was great. But then part of that was the captain of the Boys Brigade was named Mike Murray, and he was a key influential part of my life as a Christian. He was a man of God, and he was great. Unfortunately, he passed away about 10 years ago. But what he did, he organised, and Kim was part. Kim went to Spring Harvest as well, and we went to Spring Harvest on several years going there, and again, that's when I seen and saw Christians, young people. I was of my own age, having fun and having something, and I thought, I need this, I want this, and that's when I made another commitment as a teenager to follow the Lord. And I did that, and I was baptized in 1991, and that's first part of my journey. Yeah, so God has been with me through that. I met a young lady called Lydia, and she became my wife, and we've been married for 23 years now. We got 3 children, 2 grown-up girls and a 10-year-old lad, and God has got this. God is with me throughout my relationship with my wife. It's important that, it's great that we both are Christians. She was from a similar church background, gospel hall, and we met through church and the youth club and stuff, and it's great. We've grown up together, and that's my married life, and God is part of that. My career, I have been in the care industry I worked in the care industry for 20 years, working with people with learning disabilities, and that in a way it's a calling that I had, that God wanted me to do that, and it was great because you use your personality. It's I always say with people with learning disabilities, they've got so much to offer community to people, and it's really, that was my calling for that part of my life. So when I was 20 to when I was just over 40, I was in the care industry. I've done a varied roles of working in day centres. I worked as a residential care manager, and latter part of my career was working with children with behaviour problems and in a children's home. Now, for me, that was a very, very difficult part of my career. Very difficult. It was challenging. Children, they were very, very emotionally disturbed, very, very difficult. We've done a lot of stuff that was as a restraining, and it was very, very hard and very demanding. I was a deputy manager, and it was really challenging, to be honest. When you're restraining and you have to do all the reports and everything, it was really, really difficult. And that was, for me, it was a part that was it was a real emotional, draining experience. And at that point, that was probably my worst, where I was in my, just emotionally. It was very, very, you'd go on shift and you didn't know what was going to happen. And you say, if I was on a shift till 10 o'clock at night, sometimes I wouldn't get back home till gone 1 o'clock in the morning, because you've had incidents happen and stuff, children go missing and stuff. And it was really, really hard work, and really, really difficult. And that caused me a lot of anxiety, to be honest. I started to have panic attacks, and it affected my persona. I was just very, very down, and I thought, what's happening here? And I just was not in a good place at all. It was very, when I've said about talking to people about things, and men don't, we try to bottle it all up. And I got to a position where I was just becoming very anxious, and I would have panic attacks, couldn't breathe properly, and was very just not in control. But I know that God has always been, he's always got me. He's always been there for me. And my faith has helped that situation. I knew that I could no longer carry on with this, because it was going to make me very unwell. And what happened, actually, was there was a few incidents that happened, but one incident which was it made me feel that I just needed to stop doing what I was doing and move somewhere else. And that was when what happened. Basically, I got a dog, and I used to take the dog out for a walk, and we should drive to the path where the Wally Woods, which is, I'll go into that in a bit, right? Just around the corner from me, but I'd drive there and then we'd walk around with the dog. But what happened, basically, I crashed into the lamppost, and the lamppost come down, and it was just one of those things, thinking, why I crashed into a lamppost, what's going on, but God had me, I was, fortunately, I wasn't injured. I had to go to hospital and stuff, and I was, I don't know if I was concussed. I can't remember exactly what happened. All I know is that 1 minute I was driving along, next minute I'd gone into a lamppost, and so something major happened, and I had to change. So from that, I had a bit of counselling and stuff, but I knew that I needed to change career. I needed to change what I was doing, and hence what we said about the Happy Coffee Man. So what happened from that, I thought, well, I need to change. I need to look at where I am. At this point, I was 42 or 43, something like that, and I needed to change my career. I'm thinking, well, what's going on? How am I going to do this? But God had me, and this is what I want to say to people throughout the whole of this. God has got this. He's got it. He's got you, and he's got you. He's got controllers. He's in control. Sometimes we feel that it's not, and we think, oh, what's going on? But God had me, and he still has. So basically, what happened from that, the Happy Coffee Man was created because I felt I loved my coffee, and I thought, well, what should I do? Should I start up a coffee business? People thinking, what's going on? Is it a midlife crisis or what? But God had it all in control. So I looked into it. I thought, oh, there's a few franchises things out there, and they wanted too much money to start it up. So I thought, well, I can do this myself. So I looked into it, got a van, and and I started. And on June the 18th, 2018, the Happy Coffee Man was born. I started trading at a local train station, and it started off, and it was okay. Getting customers come in, and and it was difficult for it was early starts, and family, obviously, pay bills and stuff, but it was very difficult. But God had me. He had me throughout the whole thing. He got it under control, and it was going okay. And then what happened last year, March the 13th, I think it was for me, the pandemic hit, and lockdown had started, and then obviously my whole customer base just went overnight like that. No one was going to the train, so I thought, oh, what's going to happen here? So it was a difficult time. I couldn't trade. No money was coming in because I hadn't been trading for over 2 years. There was no government funding or anything like that for me, and it was financially difficult. I had a few people that helped me out. Family helped us out. I did some delivery driving. Someone I knew got me a part-time job doing fruit and veg delivery, which I'd done for a couple of months. And that was going okay. That was like early starts, and it was quite. Driving on the road was okay because it was during the lockdown, so there was no cars on the road, on the motorway or anything, so it was not too bad. But then as it moved month by month, it got a bit worse and worse when more cars was going on there. And I thought, I can't be doing this. I need to get back to my own, business. But then another thing, major thing happened for me is that I lost my mum in April. April, coming up to a year, April the 23rd, my mum passed away. Now, as I said, and it's been obviously very, very difficult as a family. Mum was 84. Initially she went into hospital with COVID symptoms, but she got kidney dialysis, she has kidney failure, and a lot of her symptoms were very similar to COVID. She went in on the Saturday and with COVID symptoms, but she came out on the Tuesday. She had a test, she didn't have COVID. She came out on the Tuesday, but then on the Thursday, while she was having her dialysis, she passed away. She had a heart attack and passed away. Now, when Mum was first went in on the Saturday, I thought, this is it. I'm never going to see my mum again, and it was difficult. But she came out on the Tuesday. I didn't get to see her on the Tuesday, which one of my regrets. I thought, I wished I went to see her, but God still had this, and she went into her dialysis on the Thursday, and she passed away while she was having dialysis. Now, I thought, because of COVID, and this was at the QE hospital, we thought we wouldn't be able to go in and see her. But God, as I say, God had it, and he still, we knew that Mum was unwell for a number of years, and it was a shock losing her. But Mum was a Christian, and I know she's in a good place. She's in heaven now. And the people at the hospital were so good. We managed to go and see Mum there. Initially, before, obviously with COVID, no one was going into their hospitals. But because Mum passed away, they'd let us go in. So me, my brother, my dad, and my two sisters, we managed to go and see Mum. And they'd done the room out really well, and we managed to say our goodbyes to her then. And it was difficult, but God had his hand on that. He had his hand on that situation, because we were blessed. And what I say, the blessing, we were blessed that we could be together as a family and see Mum for the last time physically. And it was God's plan. God had it all sorted for us. And I'm so grateful that I could see my mum there for the last time. Whereas before, I thought, I'm never going to see her again, and for some people that's happened like that. So God has blessed us in that. And it has been difficult. And I'm telling everyone's lost anyone, regardless of the pandemic, it's so difficult. Your mum, isn't it? And, it's so, difficult losing her. But God has been in it, and he's looked after us in the whole situation. We had the funeral, and only 10 of us could go. But we've had we had a little funeral, and we know that this is not the end. Mum was a Christian, and my dad's 89. They were married for, it would have been 60 years this year. So we're looking after Dad now, and he's okay. He's got his faith, and it's a journey, and he's having a new chapter of his life, like we're all having chapters of our lives. So that's been a big, massive part of my journey and God and my faith. It's been challenged, but I know that God has got it all in control. And with Mum passing, it's been a new phase for me, as going through that grief. And I'm still grieving now, and it's part of that grieving process. So it's coming up to a year when Mum passed. We've had the stone done and everything, and it was great, because Mother's Day it was done. The stone was done, so we could actually go and although she's not there, we know, you know, it's part of the grieving process, isn't it? And as a family man, you know, my grieving is part of the process, isn't it? So that's where I am now with my mum. Obviously, we're helping Dad now. He's sold his house, and we're looking at getting a smaller property for him now. But God's in that as well. So it's part of your journey. It hasn't been easy, and it's not going to be any easy, you know. But God is with us. I really feel for those that haven't got the hope that we have. You know, that you know, with our faith and the hope that what we have in when we die, this is just purely just a journey, and we're in this, and then we go to heaven. You know what I mean? So it's I feel for those that haven't got the hope that we've got, and that's why we need to, you know, get that across to people by showing them love through what God has done in our lives. So, as I say, lockdown happened. My delivery, driving, that was while I was, when Mum passed away, I was doing the delivery driving. I knocked that on the head. I said, I don't want to do that no more. I want to get back to my business of the Happy Coffee Man, because yeah, I am still obviously grieving, but I am happy, you know, because I know that Mum's in a better place. So I still had this thing of what am I going to do with my business? You know, what's going on? The station, no one's using the station. So I needed to look, where am I going? Now, God is in all of it, and God's in all of this as I keep going on about it, but God, He's got it. Now, I was thinking, what am I going to do? Now, I had like I don't know if it was a dream or something. I woke up and I thought, Worley Woods is just up the road from me. Kim knows it's just up the road. I thought, it's like God said to me, Worley Woods, try there. So I emailed the people that run the Worley Woods. I said, I want to trade at the Woods. Now, within 2 weeks, I was trading at the Woods. And if anyone sees me, I'm at the Woods. And it's a tarmacked area. Now, as I say, God has got it. God has got this in plan. He's got it already sorted for you. Now, he'd already had this space, and it was a perfect space, perfect spot for me to park my van up. It's got everything there, you know, people passing by, and it's got, God said, there you go, Jonathan, this is what I've prepared for you. And he prepared this already for me. And that has been an absolute blessing on my family, on my finances, on my family. You know, we've come together, we've gone through a difficult time, and the coffee van there, people have been coming to us, oh, it's great that you're here. It's like, I'm serving them in this difficult time, giving people a chance to meet up with people, have a chat, and have a great coffee. You know, I do all sorts of coffees, flat whites. You'll get my little thing in there, but you know, so but that's what it's about. It's about serving people and giving people the opportunity to meet up with people and family and whatever, have a coffee and have a chat. So God has got this, and if anyone comes and sees me at the Woods, there's like the meadow bit. They call it the meadow. It's just like a hilly bit, and on the meadow, it's got like on the grass, you can see like a cross shape. Now I see that when I started trading there, I used to see it every morning, and I used to go, "Yeah, God, you have got this. You've got this for me, and it's great, and it's a blessing for me, and I want to be a blessing for everyone, and to bless people with what I'm doing." So that is my thing about the Worley Woods and the Happy Coffee Man, and my faith is there. The happy Coffee Man is me. I'm a happy person. I'm not gets quite stressed when it gets really busy, but like that, I'm happy. Now, I just wanted to share with you just something, and someone sent it me a few months back actually, and it is regarding coffee. I just want you to take this as just think about it for a minute. Just think about, you are holding a cup of coffee, okay? When someone bumps into you, right, and you spill the coffee. You spill the coffee all over the place. Now, you might ask, Why did you spill the coffee? Now, you might think, well, I spilled the coffee because someone bumped into me. And you might, okay, that's half right. Yeah, okay, someone bumped into you. But you spilled the coffee because you had coffee in the cup. Yeah? If you had tea in the cup, you'd spill the tea. But if you've got coffee in the cup and someone bumped into you and you spilled the coffee. So I just wanted to just say to you that in life, we get knocks, we get bumped, things happen and shake us up. What is in us? Yeah? And what's going to come out of us? Is it bitterness, anger coming out? Or is it joy, peace, gratefulness coming out? And that's what I wanted to share with us this morning, this afternoon. What's in us, right? When things happen, when things shake us up a bit, yeah, what is going to come out? Is it going to be joy? Is it going to be peace? Or is it going to be anger and bitterness? So I just wanted to share that with you, just to say, in me, when you got your nice cup of coffee, flat white or latte or whatever, that's going to spill out if someone bumps into you. What's in us? Is it joy, the joy of the Lord? Is that in us? Or is anger going to come out? So I just wanted us, and that's why it says about filling up, renewing in the spirit every day, of growing in your faith and just being there to help others in their situation. So I just wanted to share that with you this morning, this afternoon, and I hope that's been helpful. And I just want to, if there's any questions anyone's dying to ask me, go ahead. But I hope this has been important. It's been good for people. So thank you.